Beautiful fjords, majestic mountains, and charming reindeers are among the things that East Iceland has to offer. With Air Iceland, you can take a 1-hour flight from Reykjavík to Egilsstaðir, and from there it's ideal to explore the beautiful landscapes and villages in the East Fjords. The lake Lagarfljót is a landmark in Egilsstaðir, famous for the legendary monster Lagarfljótsormur, which a lot of people claim that they have seen.
2 years ago, a farmer in the area called Hjörtur Kjerúl, he got a video of something that appears to be the worm or the monster in the lake, and he handed it over to the municipality and said, well, a few years ago you offered a reward if we could prove that the monster is in the lake. Here is the video and I would like to have my prize now. Well, the story goes that a young girl who lived in a farm here in the area, she got given a gold ring. And she wanted the ring to grow, and she was told that she could put a little worm on top of it, and then the gold would grow. So she did. She took the little worm and put it in a box alongside with the ring. And the gold grew, but the worm grew also. And she panicked and took the box with the worm and the gold and threw it all into the lake. And there it kept growing until it became quite a big monster. And it has been living there ever since. But certainly there are many attractions around the lake. The forest at Hallormsstaður, Skriðuklaustur, there are very nice hiking trails all around. So it's a very nice place to visit and spend time with the family and just take a little peek and see if you can spot the monster while you're at it.
Travel East Taste the Magic is a travel agency that organizes events and tours in the east of Iceland. Travel East will inform you about everything you need to know about the East Fjords, and through their website you can book a tour, accommodation, or get some advice about various activities.
It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. I'm from Colorado, so it's very similar landscape, but it's just, the air seems just, it's, you know, since it's not as populated, it just seems very clean and crisp, and it is different than Colorado. You just definitely feel like you're kind of out here by yourself, which is wonderful, very peaceful.
This has been magnificent to come out here and have this fire waiting for us with pancakes and coffee, you know, off the griddle here. It's incredible, and really makes the experience feel like you're part of a family. For people who branch out and can get on a 1-hour flight somewhere, I definitely recommend seeing other parts of the country, and East Iceland looks like it has so much to offer, and would recommend it based on what I've seen so far.
The Icelandair Hotel Hérað, which is located in the thriving center of Egilsstaðir, is the perfect place to enjoy a break in East Iceland. If you wish to experience untouched wilderness and a pristine landscape, Borgarfjörður Eystri is the place to visit. Borgarfjörður Eystri gives you the opportunity to experience a genuine Icelandic fishing village with a small boat fishery and great hiking trails.
Borgarfjörður Eystri is a small original Icelandic fishing village. where people still like focus on sustainable small boat fishing and agriculture. Well, it's the nature, unique geology, and the bird life. It's probably the best place in Iceland to view puffins. I can guarantee you will see a puffin if you come here between the middle of April till middle of August. I work as a guide and I take tourists up to the mountains and to the nearby fjords and inlets. And sometimes we stay there in the hiking huts, or sometimes we just take like day trips from the village. And there's always something new to see each and every day. The queen of the Icelandic elves, she actually lives here. So you have to show a great respect when you go and visit Álfaborg, the city of the elves. There was a monster called Natti who lived there in a cave. He was a great threat to all travelers coming to Borgarfjörður until the year 1306, and he was killed. And the guy who killed him made this cross to protect all the passengers coming to Borgarfjörður. This is a dead end. This is not a part of the ring road, so we don't have this mass tourism in the area. We just get people who really want to come and stay and dwell and blend with the locals.
Next to Egilsstaðir is the beautiful fjord Eskifjörður. The respected travel company Tanni Travel will welcome you in Eskifjörður, offer you some great tours in the area, for example a special village walk where you can meet the friendly locals. Meet the Locals gives you the opportunity to experience the area through local people by going for a village walk and have dinner or coffee with the locals. These tours give you a better insight of the lives of the inhabitants and an opportunity to get to know the Icelanders and how they live, so you can come as a stranger and leave as a friend. You can, for an example, meet the lovely storyteller Berglind Ósk and meet the locals.
In this little town here, I know everyone and I know a lot of stories. But I can tell you stories about the hidden people or the elves or the trolls or any old Icelandic story or you know, some humorous stories as well.
Berglind, what can you tell me about the fjords?
Fjarðabyggð is a municipality in the east coast of Iceland, and it has 5 fjords, or basically 6, but 5 little towns. One is called Norðfjörður, and sometimes called Little Moska, because in the old days, there were a lot of communists there. I don't think they're still there. They're all gone. Then we have Eskifjörður, which is called the Norwegian town because of all the beautiful Norwegian houses who is by the seaside there. And then we have Reyðarfjörður, which has honored the story of the British soldiers who occupied this town during the World War II. And then we have this beautiful town, which we are in now, called Fáskrúðsfjörður. Here we are honoring the story of the French fishermen who came to Iceland for their livelihood in the 19th century. And then we have Stöðvarfjörður, which is the next town, and it is the town of culture and art. And then we of course have Mjóifjörður, but there's no town in Mjóifjörður. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fjord, but there's only a few people.
One of Iceland's best kept secret is Petra's collection of Icelandic stones in the beautiful fjord Stöðvarfjörður. Petra Sveinsdóttir in Stöðvarfjörður was well known for the largest privately owned collection of stones and minerals in the world. She started collecting stones in 1946 and opened her home for visitors in 1974 because so many wanted to see her gems. Many describe Petra's stone collection as heaven on earth.
Yeah, this is a stone and mineral collection collected by my grandmother Petra Sveinsdóttir. She was born here in Stöðvarfjörður in 1922 and started collecting stones just as toys, you know, to play with. But it grew and grew, and people say now this is one of the biggest stone and mineral collection in the world. All these stones are from Iceland. All of them are from east coast of Iceland. and probably 85% of them would be from Stöðvarfjörður, where we are now. And the reason for it is basically my grandma was born in 1922, and when she started collecting stones there were no roads. So the roads we're driving on here now opened up in 1965, so she couldn't go nowhere else.
Do you know how many stones belong to the museum?
No, it's a very common question, but I think they're almost uncountable. There must be a few 100,000 at least outside in the garden and 20,000-30,000 at least inside.
Since this used to be your grandmother's home, who is running it at the moment?
Probably in the last 15 years or so. It has been looked after and run as a collection by the family. It's her 4 children now who have helped her in the past 15 years and now have kept on looking after the museum after my grandmother passed away. And hopefully it will continue like that for a long, long time.
The old fish factory in Stöðvarfjörður has been brought back to life and now houses various arts and crafts workshops in the creative center of Stöðvarfjörður. Variety of handcrafted and timeless toys are among the things that are produced in the carpentry workshop. Many of the toys are inspired by Icelandic reality, handmade of local and sustainable birch and larch woods. The establishment of a herring fishery led to the first real growth of the fjord towns of the east. Randolph Sea House is a beautifully preserved shore building at the east end of Eskifjörður. It was built by Norwegian Peter Randolph in 1890 and provided a station for landing and processing herring caught within the fjord for 40 years. Today, this charming old house preserves many artifacts and the lingering atmosphere from the golden days in the early 20th century. And there you can enjoy gourmet meals at a fine restaurant which gives you the sense of history. Next to Randolph Sea House, it's ideal to book accommodation in fascinating cottages which you can book online at mjóeyri.is. The cottages include spectacular view over the fjord, and you can rejuvenate and let go of all your worries in a special jacuzzi built inside of a fisherman's boat, surrounded by the divine nature. Norðfjörður is a wonderful destination famous for still seas and tranquility. We recommend a visit to the museum Safnahúsið and staying at Hotel Hildebrand, where you can taste gourmet food at the slow food restaurant Kaupfélagsbarinn. Hildebrand Hotel is located right on the coastline of Norðfjörður Bay in the heart of the town Neskaupstaður. The hotel offers great services and amazing accommodation in spacious apartments with breathtaking views and private balconies looking over the ocean and mountains. The ocean in front of the hotel is full of wildlife with great variety of birds, seals and whales. The restaurant Kaupfélagsbarinn is located on the ground floor of Hildebrand Hotel. Kaupfélagsbarinn proudly serves gourmet food made from finest local ingredients with a special focus on seafood. An 85-year-old local fisherman prepares and fillets the fresh fish, offering guests a unique slow food experience. The Museum House in Neskaupstaður is an old building at the harbour which houses 3 wonderful and different museums. We recommend the East-Iceland Museum of Natural History, an interesting museum which displays the best of Icelandic nature, Icelandic mammals, shellfish, birds, insects, and stone collection are amongst the things on display. In Neskaupstaður, which the locals call Little Moscow, there is a charming outdoor swimming pool with a thrilling water slide and hot tubs. We also recommend fishing at the harbor and jumping into the sea on a warm day. At the Icelandic Wartime Museum, you can travel back in time to the days of the Second World War and the military occupation of Reyðarfjörður. The museum gives a vivid insight into the life during the war in a country that has never had any army or been at war, with this one exception. Only 300 people lived in Reyðarfjörður when the British Army moved to the small fishing village, and suddenly Reyðarfjörður changed into a modern town with 3,000 inhabitants, cinemas, bars and coffee shops. Tergesen is a guest house and a restaurant in a charming old house in Reyðarfjörður. Tergesen offers 17 rooms which are decorated in antique style, which creates a unique ambience. Tergesen has served as a restaurant and guest house since 1938, which makes it one of the oldest restaurants in Iceland. In addition to the historical guest house, Tergesen has a motel with 22 brand new rooms. The beautiful town Djúpivogur and surrounding rural area are the first in Iceland to obtain a Sittaslope certification, which emphasizes local food, great hospitality and locally made products. At Djúpivogur you can see the beautiful pyramid-shaped mountain Búlandstindur. The fashion designer Ágústa at the shop Arfleifð, or the Heritage in Djúpivogur, specializes in high-quality handcrafted clothes and accessories made from traditional materials such as animal and fish leather, horn, wool and horsehair. Hotel Framtíðin Djúpavogur offers a comfortable stay in beautiful natural surroundings next to the fishing village harbor. Romantic rooms, exceptionally friendly atmosphere, and gourmet food in a nicely decorated antique restaurant are among the things that are offered at this charming hotel. The renowned artist Sigurður Guðmundsson has created 34 granite sculptures in Djúpivogur, and each represents the egg of a bird that breeds in the area. The sculptures line the pier in Gleðivík at the Djúpivogur harbor, and the size and shape of each sculpture corresponds with the egg it represents. Breiðdalsvík is a young fishing town in Iceland on the edge of a broad bay in the eastern fjords. With a population of only 139 people, Breiðdalsvík still offers a variety of hotels and restaurants and is a big attraction for travelers. The most popular outdoor activity in Breiðdalsvík is horse riding, hiking and fishing in the river Breiðdalsá. Icelandic sagas, impressive rock formations and wide range of outdoor activities are among the things that Vopnafjörður has to offer. Vopnafjörður is known for its salmon rivers, the large areas of untouched landscape, black sand and rocks, for example the coastal rock which is informally called the Elephant. Kathy Ann Jósefsson is a tourist guide who can take you on a personal tour and tell you all about the saga of Vopnafjörður.
I moved to Iceland because I felt on my first visit here that I had come home. The Gljúfursáfoss, you know, it's maybe one of the few waterfalls here that you can actually drive over. The bridge, the road goes over the falls, so you have to get out of your car and walk down and take a look and just watch and listen to the waterfall and see the birds and keep walking in the circle that follows down the Ness and back up. We have taken a day trip under the mountain, as we say here, about that area, and I have explained the high points of the saga. As in most sagas, two friends get angry with each other, even though they're married to into each other's family. They decide that fighting will answer the problem. They get revenge in various ways, and they both end up dead before their descendants make peace. We have stopped here and there to answer questions and watch the beautiful landscape roll by, and the birds speak to us, and the rivers flow and the clouds fly.
One of the most beautiful and best kept family turf house in Iceland is at Bustafell in Vopnafjörður. The best bed in the universe is the Icelandic mosi. But there's no room service. Seyðisfjörður is one of Lonely Planet's top picks in Iceland.
Seyðisfjörður has been known to be sort of the art capital in the outside of Reykjavik area, and we strive to work with artists who are working in the front line of contemporary art. So hopefully that is what people will see when they come here. We have usually around 5 exhibitions in our main gallery, at least half of them with international artists, the other half with Icelandic artists.
And what about Lunga? That's an annual festival held.
Yeah, Lunga is a week-long festival of art workshops for young people. And during that week, there's quite a lot of off-venue events, art exhibitions, concerts, etc. And that week ends with a big music festival